Hi there, and welcome to the Anita Chat podcast. I'm your host, Anita Rombo, and this is the podcast for growth-oriented women to have authentic, real talk. Nothing is off the table here, but as an intuitive self-relationship coach, you'll find the content gravitates towards mindset, intentional action, spirituality, and all things wellness. So if you're ready to learn, laugh, show up, and glow up to be the best version of yourself, grab your favorite bevy, settle in, and we've got lots to chat about. Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of Anita Chat. Here in Ontario, Canada, and much of North America, we are ushering in spring. In fact, we just celebrated our first day of spring over the weekend, and last week our kiddos were on spring break. Just this morning, I was woken up by the beautiful chirping of a cardinal, and yes, if you didn't know, I am a crazy bird lady. I think bird chirps and baby giggles are some of the most beautiful sounds. So anyways, the thoughts of spring around the corner got me thinking about the seasons, and that is what this chat is about. And no, I am not going to talk about winter, summer, spring, and fall. My daughter, who was in kindergarten, learned about that this year, and I'm sure you are well versed in that by now too. I'm talking about the beauty of each season, how it serves a purpose, and how the seasons correspond to our lives and the cyclical nature of life in general. If this seems a bit out there or abstract to you, stay with me. You'll know what I mean in no time. So when I think about winter, I think about going within. If you look outside, there's not much activity happening. There's not much signs of wildlife or growth. It's a season of introspection. It's a time of going within and planning and setting the foundation for things to come. The days are short and the nights are long, which puts the focus on rest and reflection. There's much beauty to be found in the white blankets of fluffy snow and the cozy comfort of flannels and the fireplace and hot cocoa. So this season is all really about self-discovery, of going within and resting and rejuvenating and enjoying those simple pleasures. So moving on to spring, when I think of spring, I think of new life. I think of this excitement of rebirth or renewal, right? The days are starting to get longer, partially because we adjust our clocks, but we are now being woken up by birds. We are thinking of planting seeds, and this is the season where we plant our own seeds and start projects or initiatives that we carefully thought through in the winter. The beauty of the spring lies in the smell of grass, the sounds of the birds, and the first sightings of flowers and April rain. It's a time of new beginnings. Okay, so moving on to summer. When I think of summer, I think of colorful gardens and lush grass. So things are in full bloom, and that also corresponds to us. Our projects, our initiative, our work is in full swing. This is a time that I associate with lots of energy. So there's lots of vitality and vibrance around us. And then we come to the season of fall. And when I think of fall, I think of harvest. I think of root vegetables. I think of colorful trees that eventually lose their leaves. So when I think of that and equate that to ourselves, I think of the time of us reaping our harvest, slowing down after our summer, taking stock of all the beautiful things that we were able to accomplish. And like the trees, we are shedding what is no longer serving us. So we are slowing down and we're getting ready for that period of rest and reflection. We are wrapping up loose ends, and like root vegetables that come from the ground, we are grounding ourselves. I just compared the seasons to our own internal cycles, but the seasons aren't the only cycles around us. So if you think of our lives in general going from birth to death, and then depending on what you believe in, possibly birth again, birth would be our spring. The teens leading to our middle life would be summer. Middle-aged to older would be fall, and lastly, our death would be our winter. So our lifespan also follows this cycle of seasons. It's not even just our lifespan that follows a cycle of seasons. Even our day-to-day is a micro-level reflection of the same cycle. With the start of the day would be our spring and the end of our day being winter. Or in essence, we wake up and we go to sleep to recharge our depleted battery, and then we do it again the next day. So now, if you're wondering why this crazy bird lady is going on and on about this, there are a few reasons. First and foremost, most importantly, this is to highlight that we have seasons in our life. As cyclical beings, we aren't meant to be on or off all the time. There is a natural ebb and flow, rhythm and balance to our energy and our productivity and our creativity. I think this is a good reminder and permission slip to rest and recover as needed. In this modern day, fast-paced society, activity is often praised, and some of us, myself included, need reminders to pace ourselves and take a time out. I know for myself, I often validate if I've had a good or bad day by how much I tackle off that never-ending to-do list. And this dissociating my worth from my productivity is something I have to be very intentional about. So I just thought that this might also be a reminder that would benefit you. 2, our seasons and cycles don't necessarily have to correspond to the weather, meaning we all have our unique rhythms, and it's important to surrender and tune into where we are and meet ourselves in that place rather than comparing ourselves to where we think we should be based on where others are. And number 3, I want us to be aware that there is a beginning and an end for everything. And I know that that is common sense, but an idea, an initiative, a project, a relationship, a day, our life, it's all part of a cycle and rhythm. And so instead of fearing or resisting the next step or the end of the journey, I'm asking us to embrace the journey and live in the moment of where we are. Because we are on a continuum and we won't be able to go back in time to experience it again. And I totally acknowledge that this is easier said than done. Are there any Game of Thrones fans tuning in? Because I totally think of winter is coming when I say this. And 4, the last nugget that I want to leave you with is there is a season for everything. Roses don't bloom in the winter. Trust the timing and the process. If I were to analyze where I am at the present time, I'm currently in spring. I have lots of ideas that are beginning to take shape, and I'm very excited about them and the possibilities of what they will turn out to be. But in that excitement, I'm also hella impatient and wishing it were summer and things were fully in bloom or developed. So I need to remind myself to enjoy where I am, and I need to trust that I will get there in divine timing. And rather than enjoying the fact that I'm a new entrepreneur, I sometimes find myself comparing myself to the bona fide OGs in this space. And so I have to remind myself that the needle is moving in the right direction at the right speed. I don't have to be the Energizer Bunny all the time. I can take a break, and in fact, I should. I can smell the roses when they bloom, of course. And until then, I can enjoy the cardinals that are singing me awake in the morning. So my friends, before we wrap this up, I want you to do the same. I want you to reflect on which season you're in at the present time, with no judgment, of course, and ask yourself if you're honoring what is being asked of you for this season, or if there's any kind of resistance that you're putting up. Are you in alignment? Enjoy your season, my friends. I'm sending you so much love. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Anita Chat podcast. If you haven't taken a minute to leave a review, I would absolutely love to hear from you. All you need to do is to search for the show, click your star rating, and type in a few words. Also, if there's a specific topic you'd like to see covered in this podcast, if you'd like me to be your coach, or if you want to just chat, feel free to send me an email or shoot me a message through my IG, which you'll find in the show notes. The show notes will also contain any links to the freebies that were referenced in this episode. Until next time, friends, it's been great chatting with you.